Hello YouTube. Today's video is going to be about death spells. I know there's a lot of thoughts about death spells, how they work, Hollywood associations. Well, today I'm definitely going to clear it up with how it works. Well, death spells. Death spells, I would say this. Death spells are very risky because all magic, when directed to a source, it doesn't just hit the source, it attacks the environment which is surrounded by. So you may have a target to attack one person or reach one person, and it actually hits 5 other people. That's the nature of magic in general. You're dealing with energy. The energy goes out to one source and it basically hits an environment, not just one target. That's just the nature of energy, how it manifests, Now, the thing about the risky part about it as well is that you run the risk of it harming people that you know personally. The thing is, when you're sending this energy out whatsoever, people in this path actually can get caught up in its midst, So therefore, if it's going a direction and they're standing in its way, they can get caught up in it as well. That's the thing, that's the only downfall about it. Some people say, like, they talk about karma. It's not really karma. You're just understanding how energy works. The thing is, once energy goes out, anything in its path gets caught up in it, gets caught up, Basically, the backfiring is another thing. When you do these things wrong, yes, we know that energy goes out into its environment, but when it backfires on you, this thing comes back to you. So you run the risk of putting yourself at jeopardy if you don't know what you're doing. The thing is, when you do this work, depend on how you do it. There's ways of just doing independent work where you're doing, working herbs. You're working certain, you're working in the graveyard. And you got the other ways of making your petition. You never know how these things are going to manifest sometimes, but if working independent, if you've been doing it for a long time, you know exactly how it works. But when you're dealing with deities and spirits, that's a whole nother situation because you don't know how it's going to manifest. Some spells manifest as like, okay, instant death, where a person just goes to sleep and basically they don't wake up the next day. That's one way. Now the deities is another, because when you make the petition to them, you don't know how they're going to hit the person. They may hit the person in sleep like independent work, and they may come in the form of an accident, or an accident from, if they're an electrician and working with electrical panels, they get shocked to death. If they're working on in a tunnel collapses, person dies. So you never know how these things are going to manifest. But now again, if this backfires on you, what you sent out to do to the person, meaning if you do the ritual wrong, that outcome is going to happen to you. Again, even with independent work, when you send this energy out into the environment, it basically not only attacks its source, it attacks everything associated with it, or anyone in its path. So it may be, friends that you have, they may get caught up in it. That's just the nature of it, It won't attack you because for some apparent mysterious reason, it knows who actually sent it out and who actually did the ritual right. So it doesn't do anything to that person. So I'm just sharing constructive information, or excuse me, let me just correct that. I'm sharing destructive information. I'm not here to tell you if this is a good thing to do or a wrong thing to do. That's for you to decide. That is your choice. That is a decision you have to make for yourself, whether or not you feel that this is something negative or if it's something positive, whatsoever. That's for you to, that's for you to decide. But other than that, this is my thought on this topic here. Stay tuned because I'm definitely about to make another video. Like and subscribe.